Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I am Pastor CJ Kent and this is Space Engineers. So this is a first time stream for this game on the channel and definitely not my first time playing it though. Super awesome game. Has some like Minecrafty elements to it as far as like building with blocks and what have you, but the similarities slowly end at that point. There's a lot of cool stuff in this game, and yeah, I can't wait to dive in. So I decided we would go ahead and start from the very opening screen and start a brand new game. So go over here, hit the new game button. We are going to do the star system scenario, but we're going to customize it just a little bit. Obviously, survival. Most of these things we're going to leave pretty much on their defaults. The things I want to change are... Let's see. I want to enable wolves. I want to enable spiders. And enable lightning damage. So those are all good. And airtightness is required. So good. Go ahead and hit start. So if you've never played the star system scenario before, it basically you set up those parameters and it gives you several respawn points to choose from. And we'll actually be going with the Mars respawn point. So we won't have any hostile NPCs right off the bat. Lightning strikes will be a problem, potentially. And yeah, Mars has no oxygen whatsoever. So we will be 100% reliant on finding ways to get oxygen either from ice or from building oxygen farms. But it should be a very cool experience. So obviously there's a lot of places you can drop. You can do Titan, Moon, Mars, Alien, Earth-like, Pertram, Triton, Europa. You can start in a space pod in space. Or just in a spacesuit, which would be incredibly difficult. Not impossible, but yeah, incredibly difficult. Just in space, in your spacesuit, and you've got your hand tools, but that's it. But yeah, we're doing the Mars drop pod, so let's go ahead and respawn. And see what kind of spawn we end up with. Hopefully a decent one. I have definitely gotten some really nasty ones. But this actually looks pretty good. Looks like there's a fair amount of ores. This is not nearly as flat as I had hoped. I did a couple test scenarios and there were definitely much flatter areas that we ended up in. Oh god, we're gonna roll. Okay. Alright. One of the landing gears grabbed on, so we are on the side of a hill. And yeah, this is our spawn. It looks like there's ores all around us though. I don't know if they're ice or what. That should be pretty good. Let's jump out and get out of third person for this part of it, and just do a little exploring and see what we've got access to here. We'll pull the drill out. Okay, so there's iron right there, so that's great. That is a brilliant starting resource. Then all of these white patches should be something. They might be tied to that iron thing, or they might be a little deeper than... Yeah, these are... Looks like they might all be iron. Like I said, one of the things we're going to want to find pretty much right away is ice. That will give us access to more hydrogen for our jetpack and for hydrogen engines later on. And of course, oxygen, so we can continue to breathe, which is also a handy thing. I think I might like to build a base out in this area. I gotta watch my power and my oxygen. Like, I can see it from where I'm at, but I don't know how far out that is. Oh, this is actually kind of nice right here. Kind of nice, very smooth transition to the rest of the world. A little bit far from the drop pod. And some of the resources that we have up there. But no, this is good. I like this. I think this little crook right here, that sort of sets down into the trough. I think that's going to be it for us. Obviously, we can see some of the other planets up above. I believe that is Europa right there, which is like almost all ice. But obviously not anything that we can get to just yet. It's going to take us a minute for all of that. And like, I don't know that I'm going to rush getting to space. I think we're just gonna do what we need to do here first. And get going with all that. But yeah, that's kind of where all of that is at. Now, I wish there was an easy way to move this right off the bat, because I would love to just bring it down there. Also, I'm curious what this rock is. There's a couple boulders here. Okay, we have nickel. So that's a good one. And more nickel. Okay. So batteries shouldn't be a problem. I think it's nickel that you use for the batteries. Or maybe that's motors. Either way, I think we will be good. I'm tempted to cut this landing gear off. So this can settle a little bit more level. But I think we'll leave it for now. Okay, so this is the survival kit. This is a respawn spot in case we accidentally die somehow. And then this is our battery power. It's all we have to keep the survival kit on and allow us to continue respawning at it for some time. But there are things that we can take off of this without hurting anything. All this armor plate on the outsides, that is just free steel plate, so we're going to grab some of that. So this will allow us to go ahead and at least set up a little bit of a layout wherever we want to set up our base, because we'll have, you just need one steel plate to actually place a light armor block, regardless of whether you're doing small grid or large grid. So this should be good. We also have an H2O2 generator here, which comes preloaded with about 300 ice. So this is where our oxygen and hydrogen is going to come from for the time being. Let's actually just grab both of these bottles so we have backup. that is huge. Now, ultimately, we want a lot more ice in there. Basically, as much as it can possibly hold, but we're going to have to find that first. And 300 will hold us for a good minute or two. Oh, nope, don't wanna grind that down. Okay, that's a weird angle, so we'll just leave those, I guess. And yeah, don't really want to mess with anything around the survival kit directly right now, because that's risky. And definitely don't want to accidentally grind down our battery, because we can't. It'll destroy the power cells, and we can't put them back yet. So yeah, this is also kind of precious cargo. A lot of this is at the moment. So yeah, that's got that. Let's go ahead and top up our energy reserves. Now, thankfully, let me hop in the seat here. If we look at our battery, it has 2 days before it is fully depleted. And that's not game time days, that's real life days. So literally 48 real life hours. If I just left this running, that's when this battery would fully deplete and our survival kit and the other equipment on board, our thing here, would stop working. Which would be unfortunate. Now the antenna is broadcasting. Yeah, honestly, we're going to leave all these settings alone for right now. But yeah, we do have a fair amount of power for the moment. So let's head down this way and see if we can't get started. Well, we just have steel plate, right? And I wish I could just take this down there. In a trial playthrough, I tried putting wheels on this, and it kind of worked, but for some reason it did crazy damage to the survival kit, and I ended up like breaking it. So I don't think we want to do that this time. I guess we'll just have to do some running back and forth. We could also potentially use our hydrogen to fly down there, which might be what we end up doing. So yeah, first things first, let's get our jetpack on and fly down to this area where we wanted to establish our base. So we're going to start with an armor block. It looks like that is the west. So let's try and align the base to like a nice east-west thing here. And we do have it set to also kind of align with planetary gravity. So we'll start right there. And that should be good. Now I'm going to start building towards this hill. Because this is going to basically tell us where to start drilling for stone. Alright, we've got an unknown signal. So these are like little probes that fall, and you can get some cosmetic items from them and obviously grind them down for parts. But almost 4 kilometers away is a little far for the moment. We are going to want light. Need to crouch. Up to your Mitch. Hello, how's it going? Hopefully well. Alright. Let's see about getting ourselves some stone. this is definitely going to kill our power reserves. Why is my health so low? Did we hit the ground too hard or something? Alright, so the reason we are gathering stone is because we can put it in our survival kit and have it refined into gravel, iron, nickel, and silicon. And that'll give us the raw resources we need to make some components and start building some more versatile infrastructure that we're going to need to really survive here on this planet. Alright, let's see what all's on the ground. Some more of this. Alright, we're almost full up. Should be good. Come on. Perfect. Okay, so now we can go ahead and move up to our respawn pod again. And making sure we don't hit it hard or anything, because we don't want to die. Yeah, I have no idea why my health is so low. That makes no sense to me. Must have gotten injured somehow and missed it. Maybe you start injured? I'm not sure. Okay, but we're back to full health. Let's go ahead and toss our stone in here. Now you'll notice right away, it doesn't start doing anything. That's okay. What we want to do is go to production, and you want to be on this ingots tab. The only thing this can technically make is gravel. And anytime we put stone in here, we want it to just process the stone. So we're going to hold shift and control to put 1,000 orders of this into the queue. And now it'll start making gravel. But as a side product, it also makes iron, nickel, and silicon in small amounts. So this is how you get your first resources to work with. Now what we want is a wind turbine down where we're setting up our base, because that is going to give us power that does not rely on draining our battery here. So if you're holding the blueprint in your hand and you hold shift or do shift and middle mouse button onto your an access like your survival kit or your assembler or a connected cargo, that won't work. That's okay. We can look at down here. Okay, so if you had this added in your build planner, you could do it that way. That's something we'll get to later. Right now we just have to order the components by looking at the component list in the right bottom corner here. And it looks like we're going to need 40 interior plates, 2 computers, 24 girders, 20 construction components, and 8 motors. I think we might be able to get away without the 30 interior plate at the top, if I remember correctly. There's a functional line where it'll start working before you actually have those components installed. So those extra components just make it a little bit more durable in case you like bump it or it gets shot by someone or what have you. So let's start from the bottom of the list and make those components on the way up. So 10 interior plate, 8 motors, and 20 construction components. If you hold control and click something, you get 10 of it. We wanted 8 motors. And I believe 20 construction components. Then 24 girders and 2 computers. Alright, that should get us the resources that we need for our first wind turbine. Yeah, I was just talking about the build planner, actually. It looks like I need to get more resources first, but we're going to go ahead and grab what we've managed to build. And then we can do exactly what Space Orc is talking about. Because we will have a blueprint set down and ready to go. Alright, so I am actually going to use conveyor tubes to put this Have I not unlocked conveyor tubes yet? I must not have unlocked conveyor tubes yet. So we'll just do the armor blocks for now. We'll fix that later. And this is all a temporary setup, so we're not going to like build this too crazy high or anything. But we'll place our blueprint. We'll weld in what we already have. Okay, and it's going to show us exactly everything that is left over. So we can right click on this, and it will add all of those components to the build planner down here. And then you can see the little list of what it's still basically needs. And we can head back to our pod once we have a full load of stone to take back, because we need some resources for this. And we can put them into production, and we don't have to worry about looking at the thing and ordering each component individually. So it's a much handier way of doing it. So yes, thank you, Space Orc. Appreciate the tips there. Okay, so we're going to crouch, hold F, and drill our heart's content. Now, the reason you want to hold down F is so that you can pick up stone as you're drilling, otherwise it just sort of falls on the ground. And we still miss some occasionally, but you get a lot more by holding down F than you would if you didn't hold it, obviously, so that does help a little bit. Let's see what all's in the ground. I'm trying to keep this in line, so... Come on. There we go. almost full. Which is good, because we're running low on power. And we've used some of our oxygen, not like running low yet, but wouldn't hurt to have some more. We do have both our tanks, so it should automatically resupply if we get too low. Where is the thing? There it is. That's fun. And so obviously everything in the beginning is super duper slow. As you build more advanced equipment, you can get stuff to speed up quite a bit. But now the reason we don't have to put in the rest of our stuff from the build planner is because we had already typed it in individually. But if we were going to, you would basically hold the welder, and with this thing in your build planner, which you get to with the G key, you would shift and middle mouse button, and it puts all those components into production, which you can see is now doing. It's also doing the 30 extra plate, but it's doing it last, so that's fine. And now, while it's working on that, let's look at the progression and see what we need exactly to unlock conveyors. We need to build a medium cargo container, looks like. Okay, so that'll be something we work on here shortly. But first thing is first, we need some power to our base. And where are we on production? Almost there. Gonna need another load of stone, so let's go get that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and build right along here so we can keep this relatively level as we drill into it. Oh, because these are here. That makes sense. Nope. Four. There we go. Go ahead and crouch, and let's keep drilling. Now, if you ever find yourself needing to clear out a bunch of space, and you don't care about collecting the resource, you can actually use the right mouse button instead of the left in order to drill out a wider area. It just won't give you any resource for it. So it's a great way to dig tunnels really quickly, or make space for something that you're trying to build, or even just get down to an underground ore deposit really quickly. Let me see if there's a menu option that fixes it too. That's graphics. I don't know why it went right to graphics. Audio. So it's just general sound volume, but we're going to pull that down anyway. Because you're right, they are like really loud. Alright, so that's a little bit better. Yeah, some I'll have to look at potentially installing for the next stream. Mostly just been doing the vanilla game so far, and haven't really played around with any of the mods yet, so I don't really even know what's out there. Alright, that should do. There you are. Okay, let's go ahead and put the stone in here. Let that start processing. Make us some more resources, and then we'll print the rest of our components once it's able. We're short on for this. Iron, it looks like. Alright, looks like potentially one more load of stone should get us where we're wanting to go. Almost there. There we go. Alright, let's put in the stone. Let that start printing while we recharge here. Is that everything? Okay, yes, so that is just making some resources for us. I know one thing we're going to do real quick is take this below the functional line and re-weld it, so I can unlock a couple of other blocks while I'm here. Those will be for later. Alright, so I'm going to take this all the way up. I'm actually going to grind out that excess interior plate, or as much as I can get. Alright. So we're going to temporarily toss this on the ground. We're going to weld this to functional. And we'll go grab this. Because now I want to put a passenger seat on this thing, which takes 20 interior plate and 20 construction components. So we already have half of what we need for that. And right now we'll toss that here. Is it functional? It is functional, yeah. So now we can recharge our power right here because of that wind turbine. And we don't have to drain the respawn pod's batteries to recharge our power. Now we still need it for oxygen and hydrogen, so there's definitely more work to do. But this is a solid start. But we are full up on power right now, so that's good. Yeah, I had no idea it started functioning without the construction components. That's cool. Okay, so now let's get some more stone. Okay, not there yet. That's all right. Let's try that now. There we go. Alright. Go take this up to the survival kit and get it processing. Other direction. There we go. Okay. So now, the next thing that we're going to want up on our new base area is probably a basic refinery. So what we're going to do is just set down a blueprint of this. So, and clear out our build planner, because that's done. And we can put this into our build planner. Alright, and then we can go ahead and grind that back down. And we can deposit that in there. But we're going to get rid of 20 of these. Well, that didn't work at all. Okay. I guess I didn't need to do that. Just deposit it again. And we'll move the other components ahead of the steel plate. Because they are arguably more important. Technically, I can get a lot of the steel plate from this. I'm just grinding down the pieces of the pod. So if you are going ahead and exploiting the resources from your drop pod, just be very careful not to accidentally grind down something mission critical, like the survival kit, the battery, or the H2O2 generator. Because all of those things are fairly important until you've managed to build a new version on whatever kind of base that you're setting up. Yeah, as far as steel plate, there's a decent amount right here on the pod. Also, I didn't do this before, but in your seat, there is a gun, ammo, and data pad. You should probably grab all of those. Especially depending on your starting scenario, you might need those like right away. At least the gun and the ammo. Okay. And now back to what we were doing. What do we have so far? 79 steel. See if it finished printing our components. Okay, we need 19 construction components and 10 motors yet. Now, if you need motors, you can grind down one of these atmospheric thrusters. And it looks like it has the construction components we need as well. So we'll just take that. And that should actually get us where we need to be as far as that goes. So in production, we can cancel these. Let's go ahead and top up on the survival kit. And let's head down to our stone mine. Oh boy. Looks like there's a storm kicking up. Terrible for visibility. Obviously. Alright, so now let's go ahead and place a block here for our basic refinery. So 6. Now these yellow squares on the different sides of this are where you can feed conveyors in, or use this to connect directly to like the assembler or a cargo container. We actually want this back one to face our power tower. So when we put down our assembler, the other one can face directly into it, and we don't need to move stuff back and forth. So let's rotate this like that. And go ahead and build it. We are 3 shy on the steel plate. Which technically I can steal from the blocks that I've managed to place down so far. So for instance, I don't actually need this, this, or this at the moment. Okay, so now this is functional. Using the power from the wind turbine, we can actually just put stone directly into this in order to get the resources we need. But we still have to take those resources to the pod for now to print components. And the next thing that we want to print, get rid of all this, is stuff for our basic assembler. So let's grab another steel plate here. And set that down there. And actually we'll need another one, won't we? And we'll grab our basic assembler. And where is our access port? Okay, right here. Okay, so that will have it feeding directly off of the refinery. Which I can still currently access through here, but when I'm done, I won't be able to access, so we'll need to fix that. Okay. Like I said, this whole setup is temporary, so... Actually, I think this would be potentially attached to this. I'm actually just going to do a quick save. In case I do something stupid here. But I think I can actually cut this out. Huzzah! Yes, I can. Okay. So that will give me access to the refinery and the basic assembler. Oh, not quite. Okay. So what I really need is a container in between these, so that I can access both. So that would make more sense. So let's down another one of these. And we're going to put our basic assembler here, with plans to put a container right here eventually. So we'll be able to put stuff into the refinery. One more, you guys. Sorry. Put that back. We'll be able to put things into the refinery and take them out and put them into the basic assembler. And then once we put the container here, we'll be able to access both through the container inventory. So let's look for containers. We'll just grab a small for now. Which we will put there. Alright, so build planner is empty. We're going to add that. And it looks like a fair amount of construction components, some motors, some displays, a lot of computers. And a decent amount of steel plate also. So without further ado, let's get to work on all that. We'll start with doing a spot of mining. Now, I haven't done the testing myself, but I believe the basic refinery gives you a better return when you process stone in it. And the real refinery, furthermore, gives you an even better return than that. And then if you put yield modules on it, obviously that's the best return you're ever going to get from stone. It's still not as good as the actual ores, but it should help. Also, this actually gives us the opportunity to chase down that iron ore that we saw earlier and actually refine it in our refinery. Okay. I have a feeling we might need more power than this in order to run the refinery. But let me just double check that. There's a control panel here. Okay, so max required input is 330 kilowatts. And we are producing, yeah, not even quite half of that. Yeah, wind clearance is obviously poor. So I could grind that down and make this taller. At about 6 of these to get it up there. And I can borrow some. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, no, we don't need this one. 4. Means we don't need this one. 5. So now the seat is not powered. But that's a temporary thing. 6. Yeah, we're gonna fix that here in a second. I grabbed a couple extra because why? We'll do that. Okay, so that should allow me to recharge my suit. And then what do we have for steel plate? 6. Good. Okay, it's recharged. Get out the grinder. Up here and grind this down. Okay, so now sounds like we have the power we need. The wind turbine is producing, yeah, 350-ish kilowatts of energy. Okay, so it has made all of these resources, which is great. Let's go ahead and grab the, well, let's do another load of stone, and then we'll take the resources up to the respawn pod. And once we have the basic assembler down here, we won't have to make so many trips to the pod, because we'll have most of what we need right down here by our mine. Alright, let's put that in. Alright, you can see it just starts processing it. Now this one, you don't have to order up gravel to do it. That's just a survival kit thing. It just automatically processes what you put in. Alright, so let's go ahead and take the iron, nickel, and silicon and head up to the respawn pod here. Alright, we'll go ahead and deposit all of those. And let's put in our blueprint and get the components we need for the basic assembler. And while that's going, let's make sure our tanks are topped off. Out of iron already? Dang. That did not give me much, unfortunately. So now, what I think we're going to do is actually chase down that iron deposit and put that in our basic refinery, because that's going to make this whole process a lot faster. Okay, so we want a bit of an angle so we can get back out. And we're going to use the right click like we were talking about. Dig ourselves a little bit of a tunnel without gathering any resources from it. And before I get too deep, let's make sure we can walk back up this. We can, okay. Just making sure. Don't want to get all the way down here and just be stuck. So it should be nice and close. Okay. Yeah, it started to curve down a little bit. Okay, now we're starting to see red. So let's start mining for real. Because that is the iron. Alright, we can get rid of any excess stone that we grabbed. All we're interested in is the iron. Alright, we'll take that. Now let's go ahead and get rid of the stone. I mean, I guess since we're so close to this, we can go ahead and have it refine the stone instead of just wasting it. And I guess we can top off our power and stuff while we're here. Alright, not much stone left, which is good. Perfect. So now, from the respawn pod, head down this direction. To our little base here. And we can feed our raw iron ore into the refinery. And that should give us a lot more iron than trying to make all of it out of stone. We can then take back up to the survival pod, or the respawn pod. And hopefully finish printing all the components we need for the basic assembler, which will then allow us to print components here, and we won't have to go back and forth quite as much, which will be amazing. Yeah, this is a considerably larger amount of iron than what we were getting from just stone. Not to mention, we also fed a bunch of stone into the survival kit while we were getting our hands on the iron. So, I'm thinking that should get us there. At least hopefully. Okay, let's grab this. And let's head up to the respawn pod. Put in the iron. And we can take out some of the components it's already managed to print. Move the motor ahead. Actually make one interior plate. While we're here, we're going to add this to the build planner. Two components cannot be put into production. What does this thing use? To the grids? Yeah. And then something else. We'll have to produce those down at the basic assembler, but that's okay. We'll get everything that we can get from this. Okay, so that should be all we need for the basic assembler right there. And it's going to make as much as it can for the cargo container. So while it's doing that, let's go mine some more iron after we top off our oxygen and stuff. Although then I won't be able to carry the components for the container. Okay, let's wait. Never mind. Yeah, looks like we've got all the interior plate we're going to need. Burning through iron pretty quick, but that's okay, that's normal. And that's why we went after the iron ore, so we could speed this process up a little bit. Okay. Looks like that's everything. So now, let's take component materials. We can leave the gravel. For now, we can leave the ice. And let's go grab these extra things from the seat. And let's go build our basic assembler. Hang on. Yeah. It landed here, that's funny. Alright, we can put the stone in here. I don't know if it'll do anything with it, but there you go. And we can go ahead and weld up our basic assembler. Okay, and that's now functional and actually complete. Let's take all of these and put in there. And we can put in the last couple components for our container. We'll have a couple extra interior plate that we don't need, that's okay. Mostly it's the grids and these small steel tubes that we needed the basic assembler for. Oh yeah, and we can't make the grids because we don't have cobalts. That's alright. This has a metal grid in it already. And I know where we can get a couple more. So let's just deposit most of that in there. Yeah, just missing 3 metal grids. So each one of these thrusters has a metal grid in it. We already have one. We need 3 more. Let's drop off these for now. I'll take that. And let's head back down and finish our container. Okay, now this container is going to act as a connection point between our refinery and our basic assembler. It's going to give us access to both. And also a great place to store components we're not currently using. And it will allow us to put ore in here, which will get pulled in by the refinery, and then anytime we order stuff, we don't need to take the ingots out of here. They'll just pull through into basic assembler. So this is a handy little setup here. Did I have steel plates? I do. So let's grab that. See if we can't fix some of what we messed up earlier. Don't know why I couldn't place that earlier, but there you go. Alright, we're going to need a couple more before we can finish reconnecting that, but that's fine. We do have a fair amount of iron, so let's make like 10 steel plate. There we go. That's all reconnected. Grab our stone here. And let's do a spot of mining. There we go. Toss that into our refinery. And it can start making some stuff out of it. And we'll just jump in our seat here, recharge our power while I'm thinking about it. Alright. That has us recharged. And the next thing we really should get is our H2O2 generator. And that we don't really need to attach to all of this. So you just put ice and your bottles in it, and that's really all that goes in and out of it. It'd be convenient to store the ice in here, but we don't have to do all that. So I think I'm just going to put it over here. And let's pull this up. And we'll replace the... probably the passenger seat for now. And yeah, that's going to be perfect right there. So let's grab just everything we have and see what all we can put into this. So we need steel plate, a couple large tubes. I know where we can get those. 5 computers and more steel plate. I'm thinking we make a trip back to the pod. We need to recharge our O2 and hydrogen anyway. We'll grab the large steel tubes, at least 2 of them. That's what we need for that. And we're going to grind off as much of this armor as we can to get at the steel plate. Oops. See, you don't want to break anything mission critical. Now we've got armor chunks falling off. Not ideal. What else in these? Steel plate, motors, construction components. Only two steel plates, so nothing we really need. What about this? Okay. Parachute hatch? That has a computer. Let's just keep up with the armor for now. Alright. I gotta be careful with that one. When I accidentally hit the battery. Yeah, because that battery is the only thing keeping our survival kit operating. And we want it to continue operating, so...
Energy low. Inventory full.
Okay, so now... Go here. Put down like 10 of these. And we'll take back as many as we can. Cool, so now let's head back down to our little base here. And we'll put as much of that into here as we can. Alright, so we still need 5 computers. And 43 steel plate minimum to get this working. So let's run back up and see how much more of that we can get from our respawn pod. When we're done, there's not going to be much left of this thing. Only one computer in the beacon. Okay, well, we might as well grind that down. Thankfully, not mission critical at this particular juncture. The antenna is also probably going to come off here. Nope, it's stuck on. Good. It does have a computer and a couple steel plates, so we could grab it, actually. We can take out the parachute hatch. Obviously don't need that anymore. We can grab the stuff in the seat. Take off this landing gear. And this landing gear. And we can take out the passenger seat. And even take out this thruster, which has 4 more metal grids for us. Actually, a small cargo container here. Didn't realize. So what does that give us? 3 computers and 38 steel plate. Technically, we do need more computers, but we almost out of space. So give us 1 more. Yeah, there's not much room left here. Another small component. These are construction components. Nope, pretty much this is our best bet.
Inventory full.
Okay, I thought that might happen. That's okay, we'll just leave it there for now. No worries. And we'll head down to our base. I believe we have all the computers we need. And most of the steel plate, actually. Okay, we need 5 more to make this functional. Alright, so let's go ahead and deposit everything we don't need. And let's just go ahead and print 5 more steel plate. Alright, now this is functional. And we can go get the ice from the pod and put it down here. And that should mean the only other thing we need to transfer, basically, is the survival kit. So probably connect right here. Let's head up there right now. Yeah, the survival kit transfer is a little iffy because you need the 3 medical components from inside it to do the transfer. Everything else you should be able to make otherwise. But yeah, those 3 components are the big thing. Grab those. Open this up and grab the ice. And this we can actually take apart now. Along with some of the conveyors. Alright, so now we have a landing gear, a beacon, the survival kit, and a battery, plus this light. We're going to try and remove. There we go. So this is a very bare bones what's left of the pod. And let's head down. Put the ice in our H2O2 generator. And lay the groundwork for the survival kit. Before we do that, actually, I'm going to put everything in here. Because I actually want to rotate this. Okay, yeah, like that. And let's weld it back up. Now let's put the ice in here. And we'll be able to refill our tanks from right here. But yeah, the thing we really want to do is move our survival kit down here. Let's put this here. And I actually need a steel plate. A couple of them. Actually, let's print a couple steel plates so we can set down our basic pieces. We'll do an armor block. And so these 2 conveyor ports will line up, which means when I go to heal up with the survival kit, it will also refill oxygen and hydrogen. And I can still access this port through the grid work here to put my bottles in if I need to refill the bottles. I don't know what all it needs. for the kit here. So let's just put in what we can. So let's try display, the plate, grids, small steel tubes, large steel tubes, computers. I think I had motors before, but just in case. And radio and detector components, probably not so much. Okay, so more steel plate. About 11 more of that. It looks like 2 more computers. So this is just to get it functional. Except for the medical components, which we are about to go grab. Yeah, everything else we need to make it functional is in here. So now, let's recharge real quick. And we'll go grab our medical components. And pretty much the rest of that rover. Or drop pod. Alright. Oh, right, I gotta switch to gravel. I guess we can take that. Alright, with the inventory full, what happens if we drop the gravel? Inventory less full? Yeah.
Inventory full.
Alright, let's fly back. And finish our survival kit. Okay, so now we've officially transferred our survival kit to our base. Everything that we need is right here. Which should help us do a little bit better for everything we need to do here. Now, but let's heal up. That's significantly faster than the small grid version, which is great. Let's drop off the extra components that we have and go finish off that drop pod. Okay. I didn't think the landing gear needed power to remain stationary. Well, that's gone, which is odd. Oh well. So we missed out on a few components, not a huge deal. The next thing we really need to do is find some ice. I do see patches of ore of some kind over that direction. I think we might go ahead and just check those out super fast. Aha, ice. Lovely. Let's grab some of this. Also, let's set a GPS marker. So if you don't know how to do this, hit enter /GPS and do ice. Not all caps because that's crazy. Alright, and now we have a new GPS for ourselves. Also, while I'm thinking about it, we can get rid of this one because it's no longer relevant. But we should set one for our home base. So we'll do that once we get back. Yeah, so without access to an ice deposit and an H2O2 generator, we should be able to continue breathing for quite a while, which is good. That's one of the biggest challenges on the Mars scenario that I see at the moment. And eventually, like, we can build oxygen farms if we want to, so it's not really, we don't have to, like, mine to get oxygen. But it will be really nice to have a large supply of ice for now.
Inventory full.
Yeah, that's very close to where we're at. So there's iron up there, ice right there. That's lovely. So let's come over here and drop off the ice. That'll hold us for a good little while. And we'll drop off our stone. Use our survival kit. And do we have any steel plate in here? Oh, we do. Good. We're going to put down a couple extra blocks for the sake of slightly easier access, so we're not like falling off this all the time. Those well, they may or may not stay there, I don't know, but alright. Now what we want to do is start trying to automate the mining process just a little bit. We're going to want a drill. And we're probably going to build it out here and just kind of keep moving it. First of all, let's gather up the loose bits here. And just throw those in the refinery. Alright, and let's grab a drill. Alright, we're going to grind down all of this. Because this will just sort of happen as we fill this out. Jeez, okay. Try here. Cool. We're gonna need motors, I think computers, construction components, large steel tubes. More large steel tubes. Alright, so now we need 6 more large steel tubes and a lot more steel plate. So let's order that up. And seriously, like 100 large steel plate. Or just steel plate. That appears to be what we have for iron, so let's see how far that gets us. Not quite all the way there. So we need more iron. Okay, I'm thinking we go up to our iron mine, because that's going to get us a lot faster. And we get it from there. There we go. Oh no. Thunderstorms are not good. Do have it set so that lightning does damage. So hopefully our base will be okay. It is kind of out in the open. Thankfully we have 2 self-dug tunnels where we can kind of hide from the lightning if we need to. Maybe distant, which works out.
Inventory full.
Okay. Not a huge piece of stone.
Inventory full. Inventory full.
All iron. Good. And I forgot to do my GPS marker, so we should do that. We'll actually sit here and do it right on top of this chair. Top off our oxygen, hydrogen as well. Speaking of which, let's top up the hydrogen here. Alright, and that should give us a lot more steel plate being produced. And yeah, it's going to be a little choppy because the wind turbine is trying to power two big machines at the same time, which is a little iffy. the rock I dropped is down here. That's great. Go ahead and grab it, and we can toss it in the refinery too. May as well. He's kind enough to come on by, so. See where this puts us. Still not. Okay. We need 59 more steel plate to make this functional. Which is kind of all we're shooting for right now. Okay, 59 steel plate. So for now, I think we'll transport stone to the refinery by hand, potentially. May need to move this, actually. Oh, technically, now that we have the survival kit, we don't need this at all. Put that away. What we want to do, let me get the conveyors. I'll put that here for now. Grind this out because it's held aloft. Don't know what that was. Pretty sure I don't love it though. And then I could do a junction. I think I saw lightning over there. I think that we only need to feed into this. So let's do that. I need some interior plate to actually place this. We need a straight section. 2, 3, 4. Okay. We're gonna need motors and small steel tubes, I think, and construction components. We have more construction components. We do. Okay, so now let's Make sure build planner is clear, and we'll add all of these things to the planner. Alright, looks like we're getting a storm coming in. Some lightning, which I don't love. The wind is great for the turbines, because they'll produce extra power. But yeah, the lightning, not so much. So let's go ahead and power this on. And yeah, it's going to go ahead and scoop up a little bit of stone near its bit here. And create deformation in the ground as it does so. And that will automatically feed into the refinery. We'll turn it into valuable resources for us. And then we'll take this apart, move it forward a step, and just kind of keep going like that. Eventually we'll introduce a piston into the system and really start cooking at that point. Okay, it's no longer grabbing anything, so we can turn this off. Grab our steel plates. Place this. Okay, got it. So weld up what we've got. There'd be nothing in the planner. Grab that. Then we can come back over here. Just withdraw everything we need to finish it back off. Alright, let's run over here. Fix that. Okay. Now, need another junction. clear that out. Add this back to the thing. And build what else we need for it. Okay, and let's go ahead and toggle this on. Yeah, see how fast that wind turbine's going with the storm? Like I said, great for power generation. We still have a decent amount of iron. See if we can even have access to pistons. We do. So let's do that. Yeah, if we can get a piston in here, that's going to be a big help. Might even be worth doing some hand mining to get that going. Okay, so honestly, let's go ahead and just turn that off. And we're going to grind down this. And this. And we're going to take out these.
Inventory full.
Alright, yeah, let's move that. Okay, so what... Yeah. Really conveyor tube. This and this. Oh, what we need. Okay, so that gives us a piston body. And we almost have a head. We need one more large steel tube. Which we have. Just didn't have room for it. Okay, so now we can place drill. Okay. Do that. Grab as much of our drill stuff as we still have. And then we'll manufacture the rest. A lot of steel plate. Let's go ahead and move these things ahead in the production order. Because a lot of this steel plate is going to be a little superfluous. It's just not functional, it's just like extra durability. Yeah, I need that one large steel tube yet. Cool, so let's... Yeah, let's take our construction components and put them in our basic assembler. We're going to switch it to disassembly. And we're going to disassemble those 30 construction components for the iron. Okay, that's done. Let's switch it back to assembling, and that gives us our tube. And should give us a fair amount more of the iron plate, which will take all of that. And now, let's switch the block on. And that in itself might be getting us a little stone. The big gain is going to come from extending the piston, which we just need to make this positive, and we can take it super duper slow so we get as much as we can. There we go. Alright, and you can see it is starting to extend unbelievably slowly. And the drill is just going to kind of carve out the train as it does so. And as it goes, it's pulling in stone, being fed into the refinery, and creating resources for us. Oh, jeez. Okay. That was a little closer than I would like. Actually, it looks like that hit some of our stuff. Okay, so let's pause this. We have power. Okay, let's figure this out.
Energy low.
Yeah, I was really hoping none of the lightning would hit us, but apparently it did, so that was not ideal. Okay, so we've still got energy. Oh, jeez. That hurt. Okay. This will keep us safe from the lightning till the storm ends. But not our base so much. Which needs repairs. We're gonna risk it. Oh man, the whole thing is completely gone now. I'd gone it. These are damaged anyway. See if we can repair this. Need 3 more small steel tubes. Which I don't have any access to. Okay, so let's... First of all, we're going to change some options here. Clearly the lightning thing is not going to work for us. Cancel. There's not a way to... Okay. I guess not. I will have to look into that. Does anything else use small steel tubes? Not so much. And I don't have another way to produce them. This isn't even functional. Well, we're in a bit of pickle. Do I need to make this work again? Motors, computers, and steel plates. Has some of that stuff. Five more computers and 3 more motors. It doesn't have any of those. That should give us the motors. 3 more computers. Irritating thing is there's stuff in here, including small steel tubes, could use to fix the cargo container, but they're trapped inside the cargo container. Okay, I think the only thing I can do is grab this down. Yeah, I know, inventory is full. Thank you. first things first, throw this in. Oh, right, because it doesn't work. What do we need for it? 3 computers. But it doesn't have any power. We have steel plates. No, but I can get some.
Inventory full.
Alright, let's get 3 computers. Repair this. Okay. Put this here.
Inventory full.
I need 3 small steel tubes. A couple motors, display, and a couple computers. Okay. So getting a roof over all of this seems to be kind of a priority. Because that sucked. To do. And 2 computers for that. And that's all good to go. Apparently lightning is hard on computers. Who knew? Okay, that's back up and running. And what do we need for this? Alright, 5 computers and that'll be back up and running. Okay. And now our conveyor tubes, we have...
Energy low.
I'd say getting all these different components to 100% durability is also probably a smart move. The survival kit is there, so that's good. But the H2O2 is kind of important, and it's a little shy on health. Refinery is good, this is good, and assembler is good. Right. We just need iron, it looks like. But we're not going to try and go to the iron mine in the middle of a storm. That seems unwise.
Inventory full.
Alright, looks like it might be starting to settle down. A little.
Inventory full.
Alright, yeah, looks like Storm has mostly moved on. Good news for us. Grab what they've managed to make so far. And weld this up. Three construction components and 5 motors. There's the construction components. Need 4 more motors. So 1 more batch of hand drilling and we should be back on track here. Man, that lightning. Dang. I was not expecting it to be quite so destructive. And was really kind of hoping it wouldn't hit me at all, so... I guess that's not the case. That's alright. No deal.
Inventory full.
Alright, this should get us there. Have a drink. Thinking about it. Grab those. Okay. Everything is back operational. Toggle this block on. And start extending our piston. One thing we're definitely going to want to do is get another wind turbine going. So, grab about 10 steel plate. And while we're waiting on that, go pay our survival kit a visit. Alright, hopefully no more storms for a while. Thankfully that's distant. Yeah. Okay, and we're going to want some interior plate as well. Um, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then right here, do... And how high did we go up for that? 9, 10, basically. Alright, so let me get... more steel plates. That's fine for now. Six, 7, 9, 10. Okay, hold up that. Cancel all of that. And just put in this. That signal's pretty close, but we're still in a recovery process here, so. And it looks like we are fully extended. So let's bring that back nice and slow. And it may grab a little more as it pulls back. I doubt it, but maybe. Okay, so that'll take a minute. We may hold off on finishing that until we can make another conveyor junction. Well, several. We would need to make 4, I think, as we move this forward. It is grabbing a little stone as it goes. Not a ton, but a little bit. Okay, let's actually cancel this. And just cancel all that. Let our iron accumulate just a touch. Drop off all of this. Though, now that the storm is over, we could go back to our iron mine and get a nice big hunk of iron ore. I think might be the way we approach the rest of this. Yeah, let's do that. And while I'm here, I'm going to set up a GPS. So I can keep finding this. Kind of remarkable that I've managed to continue finding it up to this point.
Grateful.
Alright, we know that these stones basically roll downhill to our base, so we're just going to bring them out here and let them take the slow road. As we continue to mine what we can. Okay, it's mostly iron now. Okay, now it's all iron. Good. Okay, we can point ourselves right at home. Head right down that direction. Alright, that should help. Gotta love this. Nice little groove it makes. Okay, it is officially back where it's supposed to be. It's not getting any more stone, so we can turn it off. It's been there. Oh, not sure what that was about, but go ahead and take this off. No, we don't have enough. That's okay. Now, that there. And that. I'm shy one steel plate. Really. Okay, nothing's in build planner. Missing steel plate, which is okay. Let's get rid of that from build planner. And we need more conveyor junctions. Not junctions, just conveyor pieces. Grab this. Okay, clear this out. Go ahead and print some stuff for me. How much iron did we get from that? Oh, a fair bit. Okay, good. Oh, how the time flies. We've got about 15 minutes left in our stream here. And not only have we managed to establish a little bit of a base, but we have also recovered from a lightning storm that struck us twice, which kind of sucked. So that's a strong reason to try to move this whole setup either under some sort of roof, or into this cave, which we will endeavor to make a bigger entrance for if we're going that direction. So, something to think about. Obviously, I'm going to eventually want an airtight area. I don't know if cave is the play, unless it's like a lot bigger. Could involve expanding our drill setup here to have more drills, which I'm not opposed to. In fact, that might be the way to go. Aha! A rock made it. Alright, let's get our drill activated. And let's start extending our piston. And you can just so slowly watch the voxels pull back. Very cool. Oh, that was faster. At least give us a little bit of a place to hide from lightning. But it's also giving us some materials, which is good. So now, all of this is clear. Run up here, see what we have left for this. And actually, get what's left for that as well. Pause everything then. A mess of interior plate looks like. Okay. go get some more power. And let's finish this one off while we're up here. And there we go. Now, if we look at our wind turbines, this one is doing a max output of 355 as needed. And this one is also perfect. So we've got about 700 kilowatts of power from those two wind turbines. We can run our drill, our piston, our refinery, and our assembler. In addition to the survival kit and the H2O2 generator. So we're getting there. I think the last thing I want to do today... So ultimately, I would like to move into the cave. We're going to make a much wider entrance, I think. But it's going to take a minute. And just in case another storm comes, I really just want to put a disposable roof above us. So if lightning strikes do hit, they hit that instead of all of our valuable equipment here. So I'm going to print, I don't know, maybe like 50 steel plate and see how much of a roof we can get from that. First of all, do we have... No, we don't have any. Got it. We still have quite a bit of iron from that last trip to the iron mine, so that'll be good. Okay, let's grab this. And like I said, get a roof. And I want a couple blocks of space between the roof and the equipment, just so if there's like a radius for the impact, it's away from stuff. Fortunately, that does mean we're going to have to fly to do most of this. Okay. Alright, now let's get an overhang of at least one block. Alright, let's see about extending it to 2, maybe? Okay. There we go. A super rudimentary, but hopefully effective roof in case there's another lightning storm. I won't protect any of this, but at least our cargo container and all of this stuff will be a little bit better defended. And then one thing that's probably going to be smart is keeping the components for a wind turbine in a cargo container. It doesn't necessarily have to be this one, but somewhere. So we can, somewhere safe so we can replace it should we need to replace, if like both of these get taken out during a storm. I'll remove this. I can crouch under. Okay. That's going to be a lot more convenient. And power obviously translates through the tubes here, so. Speaking of storms. Looks like another one's starting to kick up right now. That will give us a lot of power generation. Like I said, hopefully, like obviously one lightning strike is going to destroy blocks up there. Because they're not welded up, they're literally just wireframes, but it should stop the lightning from continuing down. I hope. That's the theory. Something I gotta research, I guess. And maybe it's just a dust storm and not also a lightning storm. That would be good. It's still pushing out. I believe that's the alien planet. Little green thing way in the distance. Yeah, it's really opening up this mining cave more than our hand drill did. Which is good. That's the idea. We're gonna stand under here during said storm. Alright, so what else do we need to do around here? Like I said, what we want to do ultimately and we might even pull the whole setup back to like here, is like add drills on either side and maybe on the top. To get a larger area of this dugout. Drills are expensive. So, take a look at production. Oh, I need a real assembler. So if you have an actual assembler, you can order up components by like blocks. So you tell it what block you want to build, and it just produces all the components for that block. But the basic assembler does not do that, so something to keep in mind. I would like to get a real refinery and a real assembler going, but like I said, I kind of want to dig this section out before we do that. Nope, I'm starting to hear thunder. Well, that's why we built the roof. In case of, this. There's a 2-block overhang for all of our important stuff. And hopefully that should keep us safe this time. But I guess we'll see if it doesn't. Alright, and that is about the time that we have for tonight. So we are going to stop it right here. Go ahead and do a save. And we will pick this back up next Sunday. But thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. It has been a fun stream for sure. This is one of my favorite games right now, and probably of all time. And yeah, very, very excited to be able to stream this and share a Space Engineer's experience with you all. So hopefully you all enjoyed. We'll do this again, like I said, next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We are going to go ahead and cancel the stream for Wednesday because it's Christmas. And it seems like we're going to have some stuff going on with family and friends, which is good because that's kind of what it's for. So I'll go ahead and update the calendar for that, but we should be back on Thursday at 7 p.m. EST for some more EVE Online, and like I said again, Sunday for some more Space Engineers. So thanks for watching, and until I see you all again, build safe.